Leap Company Limited is located in the outskirts of Juba, near River Luri. Leap is a privately owned and fully registered company made up of South Sudanese shareholders. Leap is the first industrial park of its nature in South Sudan, housing a myriad of industries ranging from petroleum, printing, agribusiness, abattoirs, pharmaceuticals, plastics and water bottling. This will help transform South Sudan into a regional economic hub and reduce reliance on imports, as well as create employment opportunities and poverty alleviation. To be able to lead in this field, we believe in having a strong and experienced team. Our CEO, Professor George Achoki, holds a PhD in human resource accounting and vast experience in organizational administration and deployment of strategic growth policies.
Luri Industrial Park, abbreviated as LIP, was started in 2016 with a vision of having a first industrial park in South Sudan that would be able to manufacture products and make the country be self-independent without imports. So from that, a couple of companies were set up for manufacturing units within the park. We had one for making mabati, what we call the roofing sheets. There was one for milling, because we want this country to be independent in terms of food security. Then we have also the warehouses, so that we have enough storage for food, pharmaceuticals, and any other factories that people might want to set within. We also have depots for petrol and diesel, because we, again, as you know, South Sudan imports all those products. Sometimes when we have problems at the border, that is the Uganda-Sudan border, there's a delay, and as a result, people suffer. So for that, we found it prudent to also have that. Again, we also have a piggery that we've set up, because those products are consumed here locally, but they have imported. So that's another company that has been set up. Because of the manufacturing that goes on here, we have a lot of equipment. We also have a crusher that we use to get aggregates that are used in the construction. So basically, those are the companies that have been set up, and they are ongoing, between 70 to 80% complete, and we expect to complete by May and start the production.
We aim to be the leading industrial park, determined to develop and manufacture high-quality products both for international and local markets.
In terms of food security also, we are going to have acres of land and we are going to go into farming. So far we have orchards, up to 6 orchards that have been developed for, we are growing mangoes and oranges, so that we'll have sustainable food for people of South Sudan. So that is where we are coming from, and that's the progress right now. Yes, Luri Industrial Park sits on an acre of about 1,500 acres. By the time we are done on setup, we'll have about 10 companies that will be up and running. The first thing that contributes is employment to this country, because that is a major issue on employment. The employment will be direct and indirect employment. By the time we're up and running, we expect to have about 3,000 people who will be living in Luri. Those 3,000, those will be direct jobs. And then we'll have a big chunk that also will be staying outside, meaning they'll be renting houses, they'll be buying food from locals. So in the process, that is a lot of direct employment we're going to create. And because we're also going to have flour mill that is going to mill about 500 tons a day, there'll be a lot of input that will be required in terms of maize. That will create awareness so that the farmers can now grow maize and get market for the farmer, for the products. So in terms of employment, I see that direct, about 3,000. When you multiply by a factor of 5, so you'll be creating about 15,000 jobs in terms of that. And then in terms of food security, that will be enough so that we don't have to spend a lot of foreign exchange in terms of importing food from neighboring countries. We also expect to export whatever to the neighboring countries. And that way what we'll be doing also is that the agriculture sector will grow because now there'll be demand for the products. We're also going to have some other companies, honey making, because there's a lot of honey in South Sudan. We're going to have also CSR activities because we must also contribute to the social activities. We are going to have a company that is going to make sanitary pads that will basically be giving free to the underprivileged, and also chalk making so that we give those free to primary schools. That is part of CSR for LIP. So these are projects that are already in progress. So in short, we're going to create direct jobs, 3,000 up to 15,000 in direct jobs. We are going to have the CSR involved in heavily involved, and food sustainability for the country. The government gave us land to work on. That's a big support because that's a challenge that most investors get. Second is about security, which is also key. The government has given us security. You can see we are surrounded by people who are giving us security to do that. And then, of course, also there's a support. We have the goodwill of the government to move up with these projects because in the long run, it helps the government when people have enough food, people are sustainable, people have their income is much better. So in terms of that, I can say we're getting a lot of support from the government.
The park has over 2,000 acres of land for current use and future expansion. LIP Company Limited is here to deliver to the people of South Sudan.